Welcome back to Whispers of the Jungle with OK. I am Ojas.
And I'm Krupa. And today we are going somewhere interesting.
We are heading to the Saurashtra Peninsula of Gujarat, to a forest that holds one of the most extraordinary stories in wildlife conservation. A story of near extinction, royal intervention, and a comeback so remarkable it reads like fiction.
We are talking about the Asiatic Lion and their only home in the world, Gir National Park.
Krupa, before we dive in, quick question. How many Asiatic lions do you think exist in the wild today?
Mm, maybe a few thousand?
891 as of the 2025 census, so roughly 900. That's it. The entire wild population of a subspecies on this one planet fits into roughly 900 animals, all in one forest in Gujarat.
That's that's honestly terrifying and incredible at the same time.
It really is. So let's talk about how they got here and why Gir is the last place on earth outside of Africa where you can see lions roaming free in the wild. Let's set the scene. Gir National Park, or Sasan Gir, covers about 1400 square kilometers in the Junagadh, Gir Somnath, and Amreli districts of Gujarat. It's a mosaic of dry deciduous forest, scrubland, savanna grasslands, and rocky hills. Essentially, the perfect dry, open terrain for lions.
And Gujarat being a dry state is actually a feature, not a bug.
Exactly. Asiatic lions struggle in humid, moist environments. Gujarat's dry climate suits them perfectly. The nearest major city is Junagadh, about 65 kilometers away. The closest town is Sasangir, which is literally your entry point into the forest.
So, how did lions end up here? Were they always in Gir?
Great question. Historically, Asiatic lions, also called as Persian lions, roamed an enormous range. We're talking from Greece and Turkey in the west, through Iran, Mesopotamia, right across to Bengal and the Narmada River in central India. They were everywhere.
Oh, so what happened?
The same old two things, hunting and habitat loss. Through the 1800s, the British colonial administration, local kings, and the shikar culture decimated lion populations across the subcontinent. By the 1880s, most lion populations in northern India were gone. And by around 1910, estimates suggest fewer than 2 dozen lions were left in the wild. Some say it may have been closer to 100. But the point still stands. They were on the absolute edge of extinction.
2 dozen? That is horrifying.
And this is where Gir's history gets genuinely fascinating. Because what saved the lion wasn't a government policy or an international treaty. It was one man, the Nawab of Junagadh.
Okay, tell me everything.
Junagadh was a princely state in Saurashtra, and the Nawabs had long had a complicated relationship with lions. They were prized hunting trophies for royalty. But by the late 1800s, the Nawabs of Junagadh realized if this continues, there will be nothing left to hunt. So they did something remarkable. They banned lion hunting on their lands. Gir was essentially their private forest, and they turned it into a protected reserve.
And then there's that famous Curzon story, right?
Yes, in 1903, Lord Curzon, the Viceroy of India, one of the most powerful men in the British Empire, came to Gujarat and requested permission to hunt lions in Gir. The Nawab refused him flat out. No lion hunt for the Viceroy.
He said no to the viceroy?
He did, And because of that refusal, the lion population slowly began to recover. When India gained independence in 1947, the new government upheld these protections, and on September 18th, 1965, Gir was officially declared a wildlife sanctuary, which was later upgraded to a national park.
So, in a very real sense, those lions exist today because one Nawab said no.
One principled, flat out no. And then decades of conservation effort, from roughly 20 animals in 1913 to approximately 900 as of today. That is one of the greatest wildlife conservation stories in history.
Okay. So Ojas, I need to settle something for me. When I picture a lion, I picture the giant maned African lion. Are Asiatic lions the same, smaller, or different?
So they are related but distinct. Let's geek out for a moment. Taxonomically, both belong to Panthera leo, but Asiatic and African lions diverged roughly 100,000 years ago. Interestingly, the genetic differences between them is actually less than the genetic variation between different human ethnic groups. They are close cousins.
Wow. So not that different genetically, but physically?
Physically, there are some lovely differences. Size: Asiatic males weigh between 160 to 190 kilograms, females between 110 to 120 kilograms. African lion can reach up to 150 to 250 kilograms, with the females between 120 to 180 kilograms. So Asians are on the leaner and the lighter end.
And the mane? Because that's what I always notice.
The mane is the most obvious difference. Asiatic lions have shorter, thinner manes, so their ears are popping out, which is actually quite endearing. African lions have that big, dramatic full mane. But here's something the Asiatic lion has that the African lion almost never does: a longitudinal fold of skin running along the belly, like a little belly flap, which is unique.
A belly flap. That's so adorable.
Also, a bushier tail tuft and longer tufts of hair at the elbows. They are built a bit differently. Their skull structure is also distinct.
Now, you always get this question when you talk about Indian big cats. How do Asiatic lions compare to Bengal tigers?
Ah, the great Indian debate. So, Bengal tigers are generally larger. A big male tiger can hit 220 to 250 kilograms, and they're longer bodied. Tigers are solitary ambush hunters. Lions are social, and that's a key behavioral difference.
The pride.
Exactly. Asiatic lions live in prides, just like African lions. Though Asiatic prides tend to be smaller, a typical Asiatic pride might have 2 to 4 lionesses and their cubs, with males often associating separately and joining mainly to mate or defend territory. Bengal tigers would rather hunt alone at night. Lions coordinate, communicate, and actually have a social structure. They are the only true social big cat in the world.
Team lion versus solo tiger. Different philosophies entirely.
So, you want to go see them? How do you get there?
Yes, because I genuinely want to go after this conversation.
Okay, so here is a practical guide. The base town is Sasangir. You can fly into Rajkot or DO airports, then drive roughly. Alternatively, fly to Ahmedabad and drive about 5 hours south. The nearest railway station is Junagadh or Verawad. Once you're there, safari permits are mandatory and must be booked in advance online at girlion.gujarat.gov.in. Safaris run in the morning and afternoon by jeep. Dawn safaris are best as lions are most active at first light.
And if you don't get a permit?
There's the Devalia Safari Park, a fenced enclosure within the sanctuary where sightings are more or less guaranteed, though a little more managed. Best season is October to June. The forest closes during monsoon.
And what are the vibe compared to tiger safaris?
Quieter, more intimate. Gir doesn't get a lot of tourists, like the more popular parks such as Ranthambore. You're in dry, golden forest and seeing a lion at dawn just sitting there, utterly unbothered, it's breathtaking. Now, we need to talk about what's happening right now in Gir because it's urgent.
The Babesia outbreak?
Yes, as we record this, there is a health emergency unfolding in Gir. Over the past couple of weeks, 7 lions, including 4 cubs, have died, and preliminary findings point to babiosis, a tick borne parasitic disease caused by the babesia parasite.
What does it actually do?
The babesia parasite is a tiny single celled organism too small to see without a microscope. It enters the lion's bloodstream through the bite of an infected tick, specifically the black legged ticks. Once inside, it invades and destroys red blood cells. Infected lions develop weakness, nasal discharge, coughing, and in severe cases, death.
And this isn't the first time, right?
No. In 2018, Gir saw a devastating outbreak of canine distemper virus combined with babiosis that killed around 27 lions and forced the quarantine of dozens more. Right now, authorities have isolated approximately 17 to 18 lions showing symptoms, and 8 animals have tested positive for the infection. The state forest minister confirmed the teams of vets and officials are deployed, samples sent to research labs. Most deaths are occurring outside the protected sanctuary boundaries, which signals the infection may be spreading among lions that have dispersed beyond the park.
That detail is important, isn't it? Lions leaving the park?
It's one of the central tensions of Gir's conservation story, to be honest. As the population has grown from 674 in 2020 to approximately 900 in 2025, the forest is getting crowded. Over 200 lions now live outside the protected area, in social forestry zones, coastal regions, even near villages. This brings human lion conflict, and it also makes disease surveillance much harder.
And there's a long standing argument about moving some lions elsewhere.
Decades long argument. Wildlife experts have repeatedly called for translocation, moving a group of lions to a second habitat, like Kuno Wildlife Sanctuary in Madhya Pradesh, to prevent one epidemic or disaster from wiping out the entire species. India's Supreme Court has recommended it, but it's been caught in a political limbo for years. Gujarat considers the lions as a source of state pride and has resisted sending them elsewhere.
So, all this approximately 900 animals in one basket.
One basket. Which is why every outbreak sends alarm bells ringing worldwide. The entire wild population of an entire subspecies in one forest, one disease, one fire, one flood, and the story could end.
But um, And I want to end on this. The story isn't all dark because 891 from 20? That's extraordinary.
It genuinely is. The Project Lion initiative launched by India's Ministry of Environment, the conservation teams on the ground, the local Maldharis, the pastoral communities who've coexisted with lions for generations and are considered essential to their survival. The forest guards, the vets responding to this outbreak right now, they are all a part of something remarkable.
From a Nawab saying no to a viceroy to 891 lions today.
That's the arc, and the work continues. Well fencing programs to prevent lions from falling into open wells, radio collaring to track movement, speed breakers on roads through the sanctuary, anti poaching patrols. The data shows zero poaching deaths in 5 recorded years. That's a conservation achievement in itself.
The Asiatic lion, endangered, vulnerable, but fighting.
Roaring, actually. If this episode made you want to book a safari to Sasangir, honestly, same. Book the dawn safari. Stand in that dry, deciduous forest at 6 a.m., and if you're lucky, you'll hear a roar that's been echoing across those hills for thousands of years.
And that's a wrap on today's episode. If you like it, kindly share and subscribe. Join our journey.